Hi everybody, my name is Chelsea, and today's practice is really just a good all-around Vinyasa flow. We're just going to get into some foundational poses, move with breath, and try to just focus on the present moment, focus on what our bodies feel like, focus on how we're moving. So no real overt focal point, just getting into the body and breathing. Okay? To begin, take a tall seat. You can sit on a block or a blanket or just sit on your seat and close down your eyes for just a couple slow, deep breaths. Just a moment of pause to shift from whatever you've been doing today to your yoga practice. So in order to be totally present with one thing, you have to pause on what you're doing and then arrive on your mat. So with your inhalations, just notice, feel any space, internal, external, that the breath helps you feel. And as you exhale, allow your sitting bones, your thigh bones, your shin bones to just become a little heavier and ground down. So observe these few focal points for the next 3 or so breaths. Good. On your next inhalation, open your eyes and transition into tabletop pose, or all fours. Stack your hips over your knees. Step your hands just slightly forward of your shoulders and find a neutral spine. As you inhale, drop your belly towards the floor and lift your gaze and your tailbone up. So you're in a little mild back bend. Exhale, push the ground away and round your spine. Let your head drop and dangle between your arms. Good. Inhale back into cow pose, your little back bend. It's not a big range of motion pose. Exhale, reverse and round into cat pose as you push the floor away. A few more times. Inhale to cow, just warming up the spine. Exhale to cat, press. Good. Last time. Inhale, round or cow pose, little back bend. Exhale, push into cat. Good. As you inhale, come back to a neutral spine and sit your hips back to your heels. Come into child's pose. Now from the hips down, let everything just kind of settle. But then in your arms, walk them forward and make your hands active. So your hands are pressing down. With your fingertips, grip your yoga mat and lift your forearms away from the floor. Good. Take a big inhalation into the sides of your waist, the sides of your ribs. Stay there as you exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to all fours. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Introduce the motion into your down dog. So pedal out your feet. And as you drop one heel, press your hips over to the opposite side. So you're putting a little bit of sway into it. Good, just a few more rounds on your own, just knocking off any rust in the outer hips, any tightness in the lower side body. Inhale, come back to downward facing dog, lift your hips high. And as you exhale, shift forward to plank pose, the top of a push-up. And at any time you can lower your knees to plank. Scoop your low belly towards your lower back and use your thigh muscles. Really squeeze them to help you lift into the shape. Stay here as you inhale, lift your gaze a little. Exhale, lower your knees, lower all the way down to the floor. Walk your hands back about an inch or so. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, cobra pose, lift your chest up. Any amount. Again, not a big range of motion pose. Elbows are still bent. With the tops of your feet, press into the floor. With your finger pads, pull your chest to the front of your mat. Stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press up to your knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale and down dog, lift your hip creases up. Exhale, walk your feet to meet your hands, the front of your mat, into a forward fold. Let your feet be about as wide as your hips, knees bent any amount. For this first forward fold, I like my knees bent quite a bit. And then let the crown of your head just be super heavy. So the weight of your head is just tractioning your skull towards the floor. Inhale, take your hands to the tops of your shins and tabletop your back. So your hips are at a 90-degree angle. Your chest, your torso, your head is parallel to the ground. Ground into your heels, press the tops of your thighs back, and try to lengthen through your spine from there. Stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, refold. Inhale, sweep up. Use your feet to push the mat away as you reach your arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take your arms by your sides, palms face forward. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, take your right arm down towards your right hip. Lift your left arm up and overhead. Good, little side bend in the left side. Inhale, come back to center, reach. Exhale, other side, take your left arm down, reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, reach both arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands down, step to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower your knees, lower everything to the mat. Inhale, lift into cobra pose. Lift your chest, make your feet heavy. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Now, as your right leg comes up, let your left heel drop. Both legs super active. Stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Post up on your left hand, either on a block or on the floor. Inhale, turn your chest towards the right, reach your right arm up. You're in a lunging twist with your arms outstretched. Energize the back leg all the way. Wrap your right outer hip back, and then squeeze your outer hips together. Now from there, expand the chest. Stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, take your right hand down, step back to plank pose. Inhale and plank. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Again, as your left leg lifts, right heel drops. You'll feel that sensation of stretch along the whole posterior side of your right leg. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Come up on your right fingertips or something. And then inhale to twist. Reach your left arm up. As your torso twists, with your hips, squeeze. And that feeling of squeeze in the hips will actually help you turn through the shoulders. Take one more inhalation. Exhale, left hand down, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Step your left foot maybe just like 1 foot or one of your foot's widths to the left. Inhale, come up into a high lunge, hands at hips or hands at prayer. Just focus on the lower body first. Put a little bend in your back knee. Draw your navel towards your lower back. Good, now keep that. Maybe re-straighten the back leg if it can. Mine can't, so it's gonna stay right where it is. Inhale, reach both arms up by your ears. Exhale, lean forward and airplane your arms behind you. Good, a little tricky on the balance. Roll the fronts of your shoulders back. Hug the pinky side of your hands towards each other. And then press the back of your left knee towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach both arms up, lift your torso. Exhale, spin your back heel down. Open your arms wide, warrior two. Good, with your feet press into the ground. And make the action of trying to pull the front of the mat towards the back of the mat, and the back of the mat towards the front of the mat. It's a little inner thigh engagement. Stay with warrior two as you breathe in. Exhale, take your right forearm to your right thigh. sweep your left arm forward and over your left ear, side angle pose. Keep that same work in the legs, so your heels are pressing down and trying to pull towards each other. And from your left arm, reach and lengthen. One more inhalation. And as you exhale, rise back up to warrior two, straighten your front leg and reverse your warrior. Reach your right arm up as you press your right heel down. Good, one more inhalation. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, cobra pose, keep your elbows hugging in. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. And then I give myself a little bit of width in the back foot. Inhale, come on up, high crescent lunge. Hands in prayer or hands to hips. Bend your back knee a little, and then create some containment across the front of your torso so everything kind of narrows and knits back. And then keeping that containment, option to straighten your leg any amount. May not go any straighter, that's totally fine. Inhale, reach your arms up by your ears. Exhale, lean forward, airplane your arms behind you. So as your chest comes down, make the muscles of your upper back work so your upper back's trying to lift you away from the front leg. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, pivot your back heel down. You may have to change the stride a little. Come into warrior two. And again, with your feet, you're trying to hug in. With your arms, you're trying to reach wide. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale into side angle pose, forearm to thigh, right arm up and over your right ear. With your right heel, press the floor. With your right ring finger, reach away from your right heel. Good, take a big breath right into your right side body. Exhale, back up to warrior two, straighten your front leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up through your left side. So not only are your left fingertips reaching up, your left bottom ribs are lifting. Everything's lifting away from the bottom left leg. Stay with it, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the floor, step to downward facing dog. Take one inhalation in downward facing dog, elongate through the spine. Exhale, step your right foot around your right hand and lower your back knee to the floor. So make sure your front foot is kind of wide. So I'm using the whole width of my yoga mat here. Both arms are inside your front leg. Press your left foot down and lift your low belly into your lower back. When you create that engagement in the back leg, you are stretching your left hip flexors, but you're also causing them to work a little bit. Now with your fingertips, pull your mat back. So like you're trying to pull the front towards the back and lift your chest up. Option to stay here or tuck your back toes and lift your back leg off, or your back knee, not the whole back leg, back knee off the floor. Good, makes a little bit more heat building. Depending on your body, it may increase or decrease sensation in the front of the left hip. Everybody's unique. Good, stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, lower your left knee to the floor, and then heel toe your right foot in line with your right hip. Shin is perpendicular to the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms up, lift your chest, come into a low lunge. Exhale, pull your hands to heart center. Now as you inhale, try to elongate your spine. Get as much space in the spine as you can, lean forward. Exhale, take your left elbow outside of your right knee, any amount. If this amount of twist is too much for your lower back, you can take your left hand inside of your right foot and then just turn from here. Otherwise, with your left elbow, dig into your right knee. With your right knee, meet that demand, press out. And then same option here, keep the back knee down or lift your back knee. Mine staying down. Good, take one more inhalation, try to pull your bottom left ribs forward. Exhale, unwrap, unwind, hands to the floor. And then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step your left foot around your left hand. Step it wide, back knee down. Good, prop up on your fingertips, or if you have blocks and you like having more space, use blocks. Untuck your back toes if that works with your back knee, and then push the floor, make the action of pulling forward. Good, so those hip flexors are engaged at their lengthened position. Now with your fingertips, your hands, pull your chest forward. If that's enough for you, stay. If you want to dial it up a little, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee up. Good, just be with your breath. Feel what it feels like to be in the shape. Feel where the tension is. Then lower your back knee if it's lifted. Heel toe your left foot in line with your left hip. Inhale, reach your arms up, come into a low lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift your chest into your thumbs. That'll pull your spine a little longer. Exhale, rotate right elbow outside of left knee, unless this option works better for your body. Good. Hands together in prayer. With your left knee, push your right elbow. With your right elbow, push back into your left knee. And then if you want to make this a little bit more physically demanding, lift your back knee up. Good, take one more inhalation. Exhale, untwist, hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Good, from downward facing dog, with your hands, push. With the balls of your feet, push down and make the action of dragging back. And then from those 4 anchor points, elevate your hip creases, elongate through all sides of your torso. On your next exhale, walk your feet to meet your hands at the front of your mat. Fold forward. Good, inhale, rise up all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step your feet together. Keep your hands at heart center. Inhale, lift your right knee up. Bring it towards your chest. And then, like you're opening a door, press your right knee out to the side. Take the sole of your right foot to your inner leg. Wherever it lands is totally fine. Now with your left heel, drive down into the floor. And then from that feeling of driving down, lift and elongate your chest. Good. Helps to look at something slightly forward and down to balance. Good, tree pose. Now as you inhale, bring your right knee back towards center. Exhale, lean forward, press your back heel back behind you, and then land it at the back of your mat. A little shorter stride than a lunge. And then take your feet as wide as your hips. Back heel is down, back foot is angled at about 2 o'clock if it was on the face of a clock. And then just take your hands to your hips. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, tilt forward, come halfway down, so your chest is parallel to the floor. If you have blocks, now's a good time to find them. Inhale, elongate through your spine. Exhale, fold into pyramid pose, hands to the floor, or hands to blocks, hands to some sort of support. Now where that support is, again, it's just going to vary depending on your body. Take your attention to your left big toe ball mound. Push it down actively into the ground. And then wrap your left outer hip away from that anchor point. So your left big toe's pushing down, your left outer hip's trying to get as far away from your left big toe as it can. Good, stay with that. Breathe into the whole left leg. Good. Inhale, lift your chest up halfway, come to your fingertips, or again, if you have blocks, super helpful right here. I even like mine a little bit higher. Take your right hand to something underneath your right shoulder and take your left hand to the back of your pelvis. Turn your chest towards the left side of your mat, like lead with your left shoulder. So the shoulders are turning. Hips can turn a little with the twist, but most of the rotation is coming from the upper back. Revolve triangle pose. Now you either stay here, it's a good place to stay, or reach your left arm up. If you reach your left arm up, you've got a longer lever and more leverage to turn the chest. But it's all secondary. The turning is coming from the trunk. Good, stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, turn back towards the floor. Put a little bend in your left knee. Inhale, come back up to standing. And then pop your right heel up off the floor and step it just a little bit closer to your front foot. Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, lean forward into your left foot and lift your right leg up. Come into warrior 3. Your legs are working towards about a 90-degree angle, but if the back leg is lowered a little so the chest can lift, that's totally fine. You don't want to compromise the lift and the pulling of the chest just to get the back leg up. Good, take one more inhalation. Exhale, bring your right foot to meet your left foot. Feet are about as wide as your hips. Actually, feet are together. Good, just pause for a moment. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your breath. Inhale, bring your left knee up towards your chest. Exhale, press your left knee to the left. Plant your left foot on the inseam of your right leg. And then to elongate, you're gonna root down. So your right heel is gonna push down, and that's how you get taller. Good, pause here for a moment in tree pose. Just kind of feel the wobbling, feel the imbalance, and feel how your body responds to it. Good, bring your left knee back to center. Then as you exhale, lean forward, press your left leg back, and then land your left foot down into a warrior 1-ish shape. So a little shorter than a lunge, back heels on the floor, back toes are pointing at about 10 or 11 o'clock. Good, take your hands to your hips. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Exhale, hinge and fold, but stop when you get halfway. Inhale, elongate through the chest. Exhale, fold into your pyramid pose. Take your attention to the inside arch of your right foot. Make it heavy. And then as that part of your foot anchors down, pull your right outer hip back. Let your head drop. Just observe the sensations of this shape, of your body in this shape. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Inhale, lift your chest up halfway so your back is flat. Keep your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Take your right hand to your lower back. Not your lower back, the back of your pelvis. Turn your chest towards the right side of your mat. You're opening up across the front of the chest. Hips might be turning a little with the torso, but you're gonna get more rotation the higher up the spine you go. And then the right hand can stay right where it is, or right arm can reach up. Revolve triangle pose. Think about hugging your inner thighs together and then turning, twisting away from that. Good, breathe in. Exhale, right hand down. Bend your front knee. Inhale, rise back up. Step your back foot a little closer to your front foot, lift your heel. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, lift your left leg up. Warrior 3. Hands can stay at hips, hands can go to prayer. Try to wrap your right outer hip back as you press through your left heel. Stay with that, breathe in. Exhale, bring your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, sweep your arms up, reach. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Take one more inhalation in downward facing dog. Exhale, lower your knees to the floor. Sit your hips back to your heels, child's pose. Take 3 wide, deep breaths into your lower back. Inhale, bring yourself back up to all fours. Then just transition onto your seat. And then from there, just lay down. Extend your left leg long, press through your left heel, and then draw your right knee in towards your right armpit. Interlace your hands around your right knee or your right shin or even your right thigh, whatever works for you. Now, as you use the hands to pull your knee closer to the top right corner of your mat, with your left heel press towards the left bottom corner of your mat. Now, as you pull your right thigh bone in, be very mindful of if that action causes a pinching feeling in the front of your right hip. If it does, you have to take a little bit of that range of motion out of it. It's not something that you want to keep pushing into. Good. Now with your left hand, guide your right knee across your chest, across your hips actually. Turn your lower body to the left, reach your right arm to the right. Gaze can either be straight up or look towards your right hand. See if you can use your breath to feel more spacious in the front of the right shoulder. Inhale, bring everything back to center. Stretch your right leg long. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. With your hands, interlace around any part of your left leg that makes sense for you. As you bring your left knee in, press your right heel away. So you're trying to lengthen on the diagonal. And then keep your left knee in your right hand, but release your left arm long. And then use your right hand to bring your knee across your body. From the pelvis down, roll to your right. From your rib cage up, roll to your left. Good. Take one more inhalation. One more exhalation. And then inhale, come back to center. Draw both knees in towards your chest. And then rock side to side. Good. Straighten both legs towards the ceiling. Take your hands behind your thighs. And then with your thighs, instead of using your hands to pull your thighs closer to your chest, use your hands as like a wall to press your hamstrings into. So you're trying to elongate through the backside of your legs, but you're also trying to keep it a little bit engaged. And flex your ankles, spread your toes. Try to keep the arch of your lower back a little lifted away from the floor. Good. Take one more inhalation. And then exhale, bend your knees. Straighten your legs on the floor. And then set yourself up for your final Shavasana. Walk your shoulder blades towards each other. Let your arms rest by your side if that's comfortable. Palms face up. And then as you just stay here for a few moments, imagine that when you breathe in, the whole front side of your body is taking in air. Like the whole front side of the body is doing the lungs job. It's absorbing air front to back. And as you exhale, imagine your whole body is breathing it out back to front. Good. Reach your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch. And then bend your knees, plant your feet to the floor, and then scoot yourself off to the side into a fetal position. Continue into your hands, press yourself up. Take your hands to your thighs, close your eyes, and just pause for a moment, appreciating the fact that you took time to take care of yourself. Thanks for practicing, and I'll see you soon.